Hello, my loves, and welcome to your all signs, career, abundance, finance, wealth type of reading. We are going to make this just a general reading for all signs, so please do take what resonates and just toss the rest if it does not apply to you. We're going to do this as a past, present, future type of reading. We will use another tarot deck to clarify, and then at the end we will use the Abundance Oracle deck to clarify a little bit further as well. So make sure that you stick around for that. If you do enjoy these readings, please do like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, all that other great stuff so that you won't miss out on the March readings that will be coming very soon. So let's go ahead and see what we've got here for you in your past, present, and future section here as far as your career, abundance, finance, and let's see what we've got. So for your recent past here, we do have the Two of Wands, the High Priestess, and the Page of Wands. So I do feel like you've had recently some options, some choices that you've had to make, and I do feel like they've been very tough choices for you, right? So I feel like you've gone through some things where, you know, you've really had to make a decision, okay? And it's been one that's been kind of brutal for you. So, you know, this may have been a decision that involved an emotional split, right? It could be something where you really had to make a decision to leave a job that you maybe didn't want to leave, or it was a bittersweet parting of the ways. It may have also been something where this was actually a relationship that, you know, you split from. And again, maybe something that was very bittersweet. Okay, it could be something that you didn't want to leave and you didn't have a choice, or you left and it was because you knew you had to, not necessarily that you were ready for, or that you were really wanting to leave, but you knew it was no longer serving you, right? So, you know, as opportunities were starting to kind of develop for you, or options were developing, you made the choice to do what was better for you. And I think that was a really good, you know, decision on your part, but it doesn't make it easier, right? So I don't think that, you know, it was a super easy decision, right? I think that the High Priestess was something where you really kind of had some internal struggle with that, to be honest with you. And, you know, that affects your finances heavily, especially now in today's time, right? We think that, you know, relationships, we think are so separate for a lot of us from finances, right? We think career and money is one facet of our life, and then our relationships are another. But unfortunately, in today's, you know, economy and the way it is, you know, we are severely affected by our relationships, right? If you are in a relationship and you're sharing a home, you're sharing a life, you're sharing bills with somebody, whether you're married to that person or not, I don't care if you've just been living with them for, you know, 6 months or 6 years, you know, it can affect you tremendously if you're sharing a cell phone, as much as a cell phone plan, right? Let alone if you're sharing, you know, a home, you're sharing a vehicle, you know, because now all of a sudden here you are, maybe looking for a place to live, you know, maybe looking to have to separate bills, get your own, you know, utilities, you know, get your own car, get your own whatever, right? And so it really, really does affect your finances. And a lot of people stay in relationships simply for that convenience, right? Unfortunately, because we live in a cohabitating society where it's almost impossible to live alone anymore on your own, independently, because of the cost of housing, the cost of living, right? So, you know, a lot of this deciding factor may have been, hey, I've been in this relationship for a very long time and I've stayed for a very long time, even though I knew it wasn't what was best for me, even though I knew it wasn't serving me, it wasn't the love of my life, maybe, you know, or this job, even though I knew there were better options maybe for me that I would enjoy more, but maybe they just wouldn't pay me as much because this is what I have the most experience in, right? Or maybe they'd be less stressful, but again, I've built up, you know, tenure here, or time here, or vacation here, or, you know, income here. And so you stayed there for maybe longer than you really should have. And that's why I think there was some, you know, inner struggle that you had to really pull the trigger to make this change. But here in the present moment, let's see what you've got going on now that you have kind of decided that you needed to get out of that, you know, kind of situation, make some move, make that opportunity, that Page of Wands kind of opportunity to kind of get out, make a move, make some changes. We have the Lover's card, we have the Two of Pentacles, and we have the Hermit. So I do feel like this Hermit card is really you kind of going it alone. This is where you kind of started to go alone, but you're not going alone for long, let's be honest, because we have the Lover's card. So you're going to be pursued nearly immediately, if not already, right? There's going to be an option for love, okay? And you're saying, okay, this is great, but how does that affect my finances? Because, you know, maybe I am out there kind of trying to start doing things on my own, and it's a lot more expensive than when I was sharing X, Y, and Z bills with somebody else. And I'm not going to move this person in right away or move in with somebody right away just because of that. That's true, okay? I understand that, and I wouldn't recommend that. But with this Two of Pentacles, I do feel like that is kind of a shared kind of balance of funds. So while again, it's not something where you're going to have, you know, jumping right, I mean, it could be, maybe this is just your person and you have that immediate, you know, twin flame soul connection, and you're like, this is the love of my life the second you see them. That's possible, you know, and you're both feeling the same burden, and you're saying, hey, let's give it a try. If it doesn't work, fine. We're no worse off than we were before, fine, you know, each their own, okay? But I do feel like you are going it alone. You're going to try to do that. However, I do feel like that with the two people together, with the lovers together, this person is going to want to offer to help you. They are going to see that this is a new challenge for you financially. They may try to help you with, you know, offering you, hey, I can offer to loan you money. Hey, I might know somebody who's got, you know, an expensive rental property or an inexpensive place to live, or perhaps somebody who's got if you were having to buy a new car, for example, because you were sharing a vehicle with your, you know, your ex or whatever, you know, hey, I know somebody who's really got a really good deal on a car for you. I feel like they are going to try to help bear the burden, okay, to help you balance some of that financial situations, you know, and you may even take some side gigs, some side hustles, you know, with this, you know, a second job, things like that that you might want to try, because part of that Page of Wands energy that I do feel like was that you felt like, you know, you wanted something new, you wanted a change, not just in your career, not just in your finances, but in life in general. You wanted a creative license to try new things, to do new things. And so you may say, hey, I want to start a new business. I want to try to sell some of these crafts that I'm good at making, or some people have told me I'm really good at X, Y, and Z, and I want to try to, you know, do it as a side gig. Maybe I can help do people's taxes. I'm really good at that. Or maybe I'm really good at doing people's hair. Maybe I can do that on the side, or, you know, whatever it is that you are good at. Maybe you're really good at YouTube and you want to try to do that, or whatever it may be. You know, maybe it's something like that where you're starting to balance some extra things in there. But I do feel like your lover is going to be somebody, this lover card is what I'm referring to, not to call him your lover, but this person who is very much smitten with you, very much interested in you, very much wants to be a part of your life. I do think they are going to try to give all that they can to really try to help ease the burden of that transition to you kind of financially being on your own. So, you know, if you're going through a full-on divorce situation and you're having to deal with the cost of, you know, bearing the burden until the divorce is separate and final and this and that, and you've got financial issues or paying attorney's fees or whatever, they may offer to loan you money if they've got the ability to do that. You know, there may be things like that that they are really trying to help you with in the present moment to kind of get you through. And if that's the case, I would say, if they're offering that in all earnest, you know, take that help, take that assistance, because I think they wouldn't offer it if they didn't mean it. And I do feel like they really are interested in you as a person, right? This is not something where they're doing that to try to get, you know, something in return. They really just want to be there for you, right? So how does this pan out going forward for you, right? That's the question. So we have the Five of Wands, we have the Knight of Wands, and we have the 10 of Wands. So we've got a lot of fiery hot energy here, okay? So you could be dealing with a fire sign as your love here, okay? But also I do feel like, you know, with the burden, with the conflict rather here, the 5 of Wands, you know, I do feel like a lot of it is probably going to be, you know, the fact that you are going to be, I don't want to say that this is all new for you and you're kind of conflicted in how to deal with it, but I do think that because you're dealing with new things, a lot of your past is going to creep in, right? So I do think that you dealt with your past a little too long. Okay, so whether you were taken advantage of in a relationship, whether you were taken advantage of in a work environment, I do think that you might not know how to be in a position to be a single, right? A solo. And also not able to learn how to receive, to take care of yourself, to receive love from others, help from others, offers from others. Because I do think that you're almost combative in some cases going forward when people come into you with opportunities, okay? This Knight of Wands to me is, I feel as though it's somebody who's going to rush into you, okay? They're coming at you pretty fast. This could be your lover, okay? The lover card here particularly, that they really just take to you in a way, and they may want to move a little too fast, okay? And I feel like this is where you kind of almost get combative, almost like, you know, give me a break. I just got out on my own, like, you know, step back, get off me kind of situation. And I feel like that you might be a little bit resistant, okay, to anybody trying to help you with things financially, because it's something that you're really not used to. You don't know how to take a compliment. You don't know how to take help, because the help to you is like almost like taking a compliment or a favor, and you feel like it's going to put you in a debt somehow. And that's not necessarily the case. A lot of people do not look at it that way. They just want to help you, right? But for you, you see it as, okay, what's this person's angle and why are they trying to help me and what are they going to want back in return, right? So you get almost like, no, just get away, stop. I'm not going to owe you anything, you know? And it makes you a little bit too combative when they come at you at a certain speed, I want to help you. I want to move, let's move in together. You know, it'll save both of us money. Let's get a car together. That'll save us money. Let's get a cell phone plan together. It'll save us money. And you're like, oh no, heck no. They're trying to monitor who I'm talking to, you know, and that's not at all what they're thinking, right? That's not on their plate at all. That's not in their mind at all, right? They're really, truly trying to kind of put you back where they think you felt a little bit safer financially, because that may have been where you were before. And you're kind of referring it to that. Oh my gosh, that's where I was before. And I know how that worked out. No way. I see what they're trying to do, right? And really and truly what you need to be doing is putting those burdens down, because that's not their issue, that's your issue, okay? That's you kind of trying to read between lines that aren't really there, to put thoughts in their head that aren't really there, and say, okay, this person's trying to trap me. They're trying to put me in his box. They're trying to put me back in that position I was for years that I fought to get out of. It took me too long to get out of. I finally am on my own. You know, I'm finally able to kind of like baby step it, and how dare they try to force me into this. They're not. They're trying to genuinely help you is the vibe and energy that I'm getting. But I feel like you're seeing that as like the intensity of 1,000 hot suns. So I think you're really going to need to talk to them and let them know that, so that they don't think that you're just, you know, one, kind of a little bit over the top, and two, that they kind of understand where you're coming from, not that you're just trying to, you know, run from them, kick them to the curb, or that you never want their help at all, because you certainly don't want them to feel like that. So let's get some clarification over here on this this decision that you made and the Page of Wands, and see, is this more like a work related? Is this more a relationship situation? What do we have going on here? Can you tell us a little bit more about that, please? About this decision here and the High Priestess, please. Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, so we have the Magician, the Devil, and the King of Swords. And those are some seriously powerful cards. So I'm really, really getting the distinct vibe from that this is a relationship that you were in that not only was not serving you anymore, but this was a bad relationship, okay? This was a relationship from somebody who, they had a narcissistic type of vibe. They were not only the devil, negative, really malicious type of vibe, but they were a magician, right? They were devious. They wanted to really gaslight you. They really wanted to have control over you. That King of Swords was a lot about kind of trying to put you in check as far as, you know, making sure that you kind of were in their control, you know, maybe financially. And I think that's why financially you are so kind of, as you are looking forward here, I think you are so much hesitant. You're so hesitant to have anybody who's wanting to in any way remind you of those ties that you had. Because even though that was kind of a comfort, and once you got out of it, you were kind of like, gosh, this sucks, because oh my gosh, I have to do all this stuff. But once you started feeling that freedom of being away from it, even though it was hard to get out from under it, you know, you realized, kind of hindsight's 2020, you kind of realized that that's a lot of what it was financial control. Like, you know, maybe they didn't let you have a lot of the control of the money as much as you wanted, or they didn't let you work the certain jobs or certain amount you wanted, or they wanted all the finances combined a certain way, or they would take care of the bills a certain way, or, you know, just certain things you could spend certain amounts, or, you know, they had everything in their name a certain way, you know, just kinds of things like that I feel like maybe in hindsight, when you started really kind of dissecting it, really kind of looking at it, you started noticing, you know, hey, they were using financial control as a way to kind of really financial abuse, almost like a narcissistic type of situation. And really you were in it for so long because that was one of the things that they were like, you know, but you can't break away, because if you leave, you won't be able to make it on your own. I'm the primary breadwinner. The house is in my name. The car might have been in my name. You know, I make most of the money. What are you going to do? You know, you've been staying home, you know, for this many amount of years or whatever, or you've only worked part-time, or, you know, whatever it may be. They kind of had more at least of the financial control than you did. And they were making it seem like it was their gift to you. But at the same time, now in hindsight, you realize that it wasn't a gift, it was a control that they were able to flex to keep you there, right? So when you finally did break free, and you found somebody who actually wanted to help you here, who would actually try to give you some assistance, some opportunities, some, you know, chances to kind of, you know, have financial help, but still maintain your financial freedom, you were very suspicious, right? Very skeptical, because this person used every trick, everything they could to keep you tied to them, just like the devil does, right? The devil keeps you tied, right? That's their main objective. So let's get some clarification on this Lover and the Hermit and the Two of Pentacles, because I definitely feel like their intentions are good here, but I can see your suspicion and why, okay? I can see that your suspicion is very much rooted in a financial situation, because you financially do not feel as though, you know, you've ever really had freedom or independence per se, at least in a long time. So let's see what we've got here. All right, so we have the Three of Wands, the World card, and the Eight of Pentacles. So again, I feel like you are very much wanting to close out that cycle with the World card of anybody controlling you in any way, right? You want this world to be circular, about you only, closed out of anybody else's interference, right? You're like closing off that circle, closing out that chapter of them and making it about you. You are, you're going to work yourself just plugging away, chugging away. You don't want any intervention, right? Because to you, intervention is control. To you, intervention is somebody telling you what you can and can't do, keeping you kind of bound to them. And you just want to be able to sit back and assess what it is that you want to do in the present moment. Okay. So at that particular point, when you're in your hermit phase, which is when you first kind of break free in the present moment, you've kind of first started to come out, see your opportunities, and you're being pursued. Okay. And it's not a far cry to believe that would be the case, because you're finally now showing some strength, right? You're finally now getting your feet under you, right? You're starting to really raise those vibrations. You're no longer being controlled. You're starting to show independence. Your vibrations are raising. So you're very much an attractive, being at this point, right? So of course people are taking notice. It's not uncommon that somebody is going to be really smitten with you. And of course, somebody who really cares, somebody who really likes you, they want to help you if they're a decent person, okay? You just had a really bad devil vibe over here, bad energy, right? But that can scar you. I mean, narcissistic abuse, for example, can scar you. It can actually, if you look at the studies, it can actually cause damage to your brain for many years, because it changes the way you feel and think about things. And that's what's happening to a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you here, is that you're kind of looking at that, and anything that you're associating with somebody, hey, why are they wanting to help me? I know it's because they want to control me. It's because they want to try to get their hands in. They want to start putting me in debt to them, putting me as I owe them, that's the first step to grooming me for control, because that's what probably happened to you in the past at some point in some relationship. And now financially, that's how you look at it. And you would rather plug and chug away, even if you don't love the job, even if you don't love this new opportunity, and just kind of sit back and watch and wait and assess, what options do I have? What can I do? What can I afford? What can't I afford? And I will just deal with it as it comes. And that's your present moment. So the problem is, you don't want to cut off people at the knees so much that no one will help you, or people can't love you. You're really cutting them off at the knees from even being able to love you, because you're so adamant about not letting them help you that it comes off as pushing them away, okay? Even in a love sense. So let's see going forward if we can get some clarification on this Nine of Wands, Five of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. And I really do feel like a lot of that, again, it's conflict, because it's a little bit of your internal turmoil, that they're coming at you just too hard and too heavy. Again, because it's all hearkening back to that situation you left. But it's also, you're going to be having some external conflict with this person that I believe is your lover. I believe this Knight, I get the distinct vibe that this Knight of Wands and the Lover card is the same person. And I think that they are just of that ilk, where they see what you're doing here. They see that you're kind of trying to be independent, and that just makes them love you more. And they see that you're not a user, and that makes them love you more, because they know that, adversely, they know there are a lot of people out there, men and women, who will use somebody in a second for, help, extra money, all those kinds of things. And they see that you're the opposite of that. So that makes them love you even more. So they know they can trust you to not try to take them for everything they're worth, right? Because you're not wanting anything, right? So they want to come at you even harder, right? They know they can trust you. They know you're not trying to use and abuse them, and they love that about you. And so they're even more convinced that, it would be a perfect match, right? So they want to be right there for you for anything you need. And every time they try harder, you push back harder, right? So I think that's part of the problem there. But I do think that you eventually will get to the point where you kind of put those burdens down and you kind of accept a little bit. But again, I do think that is going to take excessive time. So let's see what we've got here. And we have the Five of Wands again. We have the Page of Wands, and we have the Queen of Swords. And I do think that, again, this is going to kind of be a battle of wills. I think that Five of Wands, rather, I apologize, is really just going to be your nature. You are going to be a combative person when it comes to your finances. I feel like you are going to be earning your own. You're going to be independent and making your own money. You're obviously going to be able to, be working away at something, doing okay, right? And you're going to want to continue to do that. That independence is going to be extremely important to you, and anybody who tries to stop you from doing that is not going to be received kindly. However, this Page of Wands, I feel like, is the shifted energy of your Knight of Wands, which I do also believe is your lover. I feel like this person is going through transitions with you, which is fantastic because I feel like they're growing with you, okay? I feel like as they're learning more about you, as they are trying to adjust to you and with you, which is exactly what you want somebody to do, right? You don't want somebody to say, forget it, this person is too damaged, this person's too much, this person is not taking it, what I'm trying to give, I'm done, I'm walking, right? This person is trying to understand you, accept you for you, grow with you. This person is fantastic for you, right? This person is all in it, right? And I think that as they do that, they start to become an opportunity for you, okay? So the more you fight with them, the more they are learning, okay? They're not walking away, right? They're there for the long run. So, okay, they're taking that pushback, but they're taking it as kind of a lesson. Okay, I see. And I'm understanding a little bit more each time why this person's acting this way, because I want to understand this person. I'm not just going to push them away. I want to understand this person. So they're trying to understand you. And I think that they're taking that opportunity to kind of grow with you, to kind of, okay, I'll work with you. How about we work together? I'll do this, I'll do that. You let me know when you're ready to do something. If you want to go in together and get a car one day, we'll do it. If you want to go get a cell phone together, you let me know. I'll be your opportunity to make that happen. I'm your ride or die, right? If you want to get an apartment, a house, whatever together, you come to me, I'll be there. I'll be your huckleberry, right? But I'm your opportunity and I'm here waiting, but I'm not gonna push. I'm not gonna rush. I'm not gonna shove, right? I'm just gonna hang out and I'm gonna let you be the queen, right? I'm gonna let you be the queen who rules the roost, makes the decision, makes the calls, and does what makes you comfortable, right? You run the show, you make the calls, you reign supreme, and I'll just be here, your page boy, and you let me, page girl, whatever may be the case, and you let me know when you're ready, okay? Because I think that this is a good setup, but I understand where you were coming from, okay? I'm gonna let you figure it out. And that's why you're able to put your burdens down, okay? Because you finally found somebody who is kind of able to understand you and willing to work with you. And that makes all the difference. And you can build that trust. They're allowing you the space and time to build that trust while still supporting you. And that is huge and hard to find, by the way. So let's grab a past, present, and future abundance card and see what we've got here going as far as your abundance. But I definitely think that the fact that they're willing to work with you, they've offered all along, they're standing by you and maintaining that they'll work with you financially while you have now started to continue to work yourself. I think that financially you are going to be sound. You have somebody who's going to be there to support you financially through and through. That's not an issue. So you don't have to worry about that if this split here that you are going through or recently went through is really kind of upset the apple cart as far as financials. That's not going to be a problem. But I do think that you're going to be able to just expand your finances with the two of you working together when you're ready. So the first card we have is freedom. And that's exactly what's happened in this past part here. You have decided to leave that financially repressive situation where I feel like there was some financial, possibly even abuse, but definitely financial control being enacted on you to some extent to kind of keep you in check and in line. And I think that you have decided to take that out, get out of that situation, and that is giving you the freedom to really find yourself, find your path, find new love, which is clearly a much better person for you. And I think that's fantastic. Your second one is courage. And there's absolutely no doubt here that you are taking every courageous step there is. Not only are you being courageous enough to go out on your own, you are working yourself on your own. You are deciding to leave the past where it belongs in the past and start your own, circle of life for yourself. And really kind of turning down even the offers of help here that are being given, at least to, for the most part, from a love, because you are really wanting to be super courageous and try to prove yourself to yourself. So I think that is insanely fitting for this. And then, here is your expansiveness, is your financial card for this last future space here. And I think that couldn't be more fitting either, because as I just finished saying prior to pulling that out, I think you have every opportunity to expand. They're giving you the space and the opportunity to just let them know when you're ready to move forward, to expand financially with them, to grow financially with them, with your financials and their financials being able to be combined and moving forward, when you want to, when you're ready, when you feel confident and comfortable. And really, when you do that, you've got both people on board, ready to work together and for one another. Sky's the limit. So expansiveness is all you've got ahead of you. Sky's the limit. So hopefully this is going to work out for you. I do think it looks wonderful. I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please do like, subscribe, or share all of the above. I would love to hear from you if this resonated with you. And I hope to see you very, very soon. Bye.